Guys, I have one question for you today. Do you guys count Jurassic World as a horror movie? The Dominus Rex is terrifying, so do you count the movie as a horror movie? Let's find out.
Movie footage used in the kill count is owned entirely by the copyright holders. Dead Meat makes no claim of ownership and simply uses the footage for purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support filmmakers and the art of filmmaking by watching Jurassic World in its entirety using the links in the description below. Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Jurassic World, released in 2015. Jurassic World is sort of a soft reboot of the Jurassic franchise that reintroduces it to a new generation. In it, John Hammond's dream has finally been realized, and Isla Nublar is home to a fully functional dinosaur amusement park. Jurassic World is a spectacle of a film, the very definition of a summer blockbuster. The theme park it features is comprehensively realized and chock full of pretty good-looking CGI dinosaurs. I love everything it does involving the park itself, from the SeaWorld-like Mosasaurus show down to those adorable sauropod helium balloons. But the movie loses me with pretty much everything else. It's mostly the characters that annoy me. They all feel like cheap stereotypes with about as much depth to them as a puddle in the desert. And I can't stand when a movie feels the need to constantly tell me how cool its lead hero is. Just have him be cool and shut up about it. Also, while I love a good callback, this movie leans way too heavily on nostalgia for the original in a very Force Awakens type way. But if you're all about big numbers, then Jurassic World is probably your favorite of the series, because when it comes to kills, it delivers. So let's get to them. The movie
First of all, I agree with what he said. The movie felt like a stereotype, and the characters felt like stereotypes. And you have to remember, the reason why it was so heavy into references, it's like a Green Hill thing. Now we can all be like, oh god, they're using that theme again, but this was not. This was a nice Easter egg. Since this was the first Jurassic World movie, before it was run to the ground, it was pretty unique. Like, it ends with a piano version of the intro, and I swear I could hear with keyboards they printed it off. Like, I already searched up on YouTube versions of them using pianos, and it sounded better than the actual movie's attempt, which was pretty sad.
With the dinosaur egg cracking open to reveal a title card. But as that little CG raptor starts to push it real good, we'll go ahead and meet some annoying kids. Younger bro Gray and his swoopy-haired older bro Zach are the sons of Karen, the criminally underused Judy Greer, and Dunder Mifflin CFO Scott. The parents see their kids off at the airport without telling them the real shit going on here. They're looking to get a divorce. And how does that play into the movie's story? That's a good question that I'm still waiting on an answer for. But Zach and Gray won't have to worry about that irrelevant domestic downfall as they head to Isla Nublar, making its return to the series after Sorna was the setting for JP's 2 and 3. Isla Nublar is now straight bumpin', because it's the home to Jurassic World, a fully armed and operational amusement park. Hey, remember in the original when that epic John Williams score played the first time we saw a full dinosaur? Let's see how they use that music in this movie.
Let's go!
Dude, she said we had to wait.
I don't want to wait anymore!
Honestly, I prefer seeing over the original. I don't know, I saw a great edit where he opens the door and then you see the entire franchise. It's just a great scene, and I think it's better than the original.
Oh, so for like going out onto the hotel balcony? That's cool, I guess. It's a park out there through that green screen wall, and it is mostly CG. Zach and Gray's aunt is this pair of high heels played by Bryce Dallas Howard, who does all sorts of fun stuff. She says her character's name for the audience real naturally.
And I am Claire.
She says fun catchphrases directly to the camera.
Welcome to Jurassic World.
And she spells out the premise of the movie.
No one's impressed by a dinosaur anymore.
Wait, hold up. What the fuck? People have been writing Pirates of the Caribbean for 50 goddamn years, and you're telling me they're all of a sudden bored of seeing real-life dinosaurs? They're dinosaurs! I'm still excited about these plastic fucking toys, dude. Lucky for these nameless creatures.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, really? You're telling me people don't want to see dinosaurs anymore? First of all, how corrupt do you have to be? Like, oh, you know where Gumball made a joke where Gumball and Darwin go to a zoo and they're bored by all the animals? So he asks Larry to make a monster of an animal, and then it's, it's really gross. We don't see it, but we see their reactions to it. That's this movie in a nutshell, and that probably was what the joke was based off. If you're a zoo, you don't create new animals. you give what nature gives you. You know? Like, oh, no one's impressed by dinosaurs anymore. Say, fuck you. That's all you're getting. Say, hey, maybe stop being so entitled and realize they're fucking dinosaurs, sweetheart. You could be a little nicer. You know, I always felt bad for him. In the business side here, it's just incredibly mean, you know? Just felt a little mean to me, personally.
Claire's got a solution to all this dino fatigue. A genetically modified dinosaur named the Indominus Rex. B.D. Wong returns as Dr. Henry Wu to explain that the I-Rex was designed with the DNA of multiple animals, because everyone knows that that kind of genetic crockpotting has never backfired before. But enough about scientific arrogance, let's get a good look at this park. This place is downright freaking awesome. The centerpiece is the pyramidal Samsung Innovation Center, which seems like exactly the type of place that would exist in a modern-day dino park, full of fun stuff for kids and learning screens that even feature a cameo from my homeboy Mr. DNA. In the Innovation Center, the kids...
Like, that's what I think about tech. It's so futuristic, it looks like Iron Man. Like, you know when Iron Man pulls up with holograms? Real-life holograms don't look like this. They look very bad.
Finally meet up with their Aunt Claire, who gives them some spending money and an Irish babysitter named Zara to watch over them, since Claire's way too much of a working woman to have it all. A career and a family? Get out of here. She leaves her nephews and hustles off to the park command center, where
I'm not a big fan of Blue.
A couple of fun characters are hiding out.
Well, what I respect about movies, like they have a John Hammond statue, where no, like, since this was a year after his death, I'm kind of glad that they weren't like, you know, oh man, this was the guy who created Jurassic World. Everyone walks past it. Maybe I'm gonna sound disrespectful here, but in a respectful way, I like that no one actually said anything, and it was just a background detail. And I also like that the statue did get destroyed in Jurassic World. I know it's fucked up to say, but I think it kind of represents his honor and how his dream will always fail because it just can't work. You know what I hate though? The stereotype that the original dinosaurs were so brutal and so evil, and nobody does this with hybrids. Like, I feel like, and I know of course, everyone says the T-Rex is so scary, but no one ever gives the Indominus Rex any respect. She's fucking terrifying now. But anyway.
Laurie Crothers, played by Jake Johnson, and Vivian Krill, played by Ho-Ho the Elf, Lauren Lapkus. I like them because they're funny and seem like real people, and also because Lowry echoes my feelings about this franchise.
That first park was legit.
Again, JP sequels, maybe stop always reminding us of the original and just try to focus on your own merits. Claire tells them that a new branding deal
and you know what
has just gone through.
He wore a shirt and she's like, oh, that's so disrespectful. Oh, people died. Like, he's just wearing a red recolor of your shirt. I mean, if it's so evil and so heartless, why not change the logo to be a raptor? Or maybe a suggestion, since you want a nice clean image, a herbivore and not a predator. You can't just be like, oh, good heavens, how dare you wear this shirt, you evil bastard. Oh, you support all death. Oh, you're so evil. You can't be like, yeah, we created Indominus Rex, bitch. You know? You can't have your cake and have it too. Calling someone a hypocrite, I mean, making fun of someone and then being a hypocrite. I love Claire, but that's just me, no?
Through for the park.
Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex.
Which would be a funny joke if this movie wasn't also actually a commercial for stuff like Samsung and Mercedes. Hanging a lampshade on it doesn't mean it's not product placement, and it's not like that was a Wayne's World caliber joke.
Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
Claire hops into a helicopter with park owner Simon Masrani, played by the effortlessly cool Irfan Khan. The backstory here is that the Masrani Corporation bought InGen and now owns all these dinosaurs, even though Mr. Masrani himself is less concerned with bottom lines and more concerned with stating the obvious.
You're flying!
Yes, you are, Simon. Very good. He flies the chopper over to the Indominus Rex pen to check out the new park asset, and it's looking to be a total beast. It needs extra high walls to keep it in. It's already tried to break through the glass windows of the paddock.
Maybe give it a bigger one.
And it's got thermal vision to see heat patterns, like a predator. Because of how dangerous this dinosaur is, Masrani tells Claire that they need a super badass to come in and help with it. Enter Star-Lord Owen Grady, played by box office darling Chris Pratt. Grady is a Navy vet who has developed a relationship with a quadrant of velociraptors, led by Blue, who's just the cutest little dinosaur. He shows how much he can control the dinos when a younger employee falls into the pen with them. Grady rushes to the rescue and holds the raptors at bay with some stern words and outstretched outstretched arms. He can only control them so much, though, and when he finally tumbles back out of the gate, they end up snapping at him. Still, Grady's boss Vic Hoskins, played by
That's why I don't really like him saying, like,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
you know what I hate, though? Owen's like, oh, they don't want me dead, they love me. No, Owen, it's like a crocodile. They don't love you, they don't have hearts, they want you dead. The reason why Blue trusted you inside with Dominus was you showed your strength. You showed you weren't scared. She believed you were the stronger alpha, and you, being the alpha, she should serve. It wasn't out of love, it was because she thought you were stronger. Because the Adonis Rex had a bit of male in her, she was bleeding, she was having a heavy breathing. You know, she looked pretty weak, so of course she would say, oh, he looks stronger. She doesn't love you, Owen. She never did. You can't save her. Listen to me, brother. I am doing you a favor. Here's a cheat sheet. Oh, you can't save her. Listen to me.
So much, though, and when he finally tumbles back out of the gate, they end up snapping at him. Still, Grady's boss Vic Hoskins, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, thinks that the Raptors have been trained well enough to be used as weapons of war in an effort to save the lives of soldiers. Kinda like drones, but, you know, with an appetite for humans. He warns Grady that InGen has been looking to do this for quite some time, and that its eventuality is inevitable.
This is gonna happen.
Join 32 Red. I'm getting welcome bonus up to £150. Play incredible.
With or without you boys.
You know,
Grady lives
controversial
out
thing here, but he actually mentioned real wars and said how they could have been stopped by Raptors. Which, if he just referenced fictional wars, it would have made me feel like, But he mentioned real wars, which makes you realize that... I don't want to get political here, but... You know, aminals were used in war because they're strong, and... At the end of the day, I kind of have to agree with them. Maybe this is going to sound a bit hollow, but I'm on the side of aminals and raptors should go to war to protect humans, because at the end of the day, they've done nothing but be selfish fuckers that hurt humans, so to see them actually be goddamn loyal would have been cool. And that's why I like Leandoraptor 2.0 by Gochusar. It's an absolute loyal beast that loves humanity. At least loves some of humanity. I just personally am not on the side of this is right or this is good. You know?
Out in a metal trailer, and he's working on his hog like a real cool guy when Claire comes to
is evil, basically.
find him wearing her best Commander Krennic cosplay. Wait, hold on, I forget. Is Owen Grady supposed to be cool, or... Oh my god, he just snatched a bug out the air! Owen Grady's a badass! Claire's request for Grady to come help with the Indominus is complicated by the fact that these two apparently went on a date one time, and it did not work out well, because she's too uptight, and he's so loosey-goosey. What an interesting and unique character dynamic to have. Good thing this movie always has the park itself, which includes a kids area that's literally the greatest thing I've ever seen. Look at these kids riding a triceratops, petting a Gallimimus, hugging an Apatosaurus. Oh my god! Too bad Zach's a freaking goober and isn't impressed with
Poor Patominus. I mean, it's right, just like, poor guy here.
anything he's seen so far, save for that one chick he saw on the ferry, or that one chick he sees on the train, or that one chick he sees in line for the gyrosphere. Actually, yeah, thinking back to my high school days, this checks out. Sounds like a real teen boy. He sees an opportunity when
Yes, I was like, can you stop creeping on women and can we just go on the rides? This is him anytime. This is him if you're a woman. Nah, no hate to him, but, you know, I kind of agree with Little Brother. I kind of like Little Brother more because of that reason.
Dara is distracted on the phone with business shit, so he and Gray run away from her to have an unsupervised park day to themselves. They head to a Mosasaurus show, where Bruce the shark is fed to the giant aquatic prehistoric beast, who's not technically a dinosaur. It's a mosasaur, obviously. The resulting splash is impressive enough to get a smile out of cynical Zach, even though it didn't have boobs. And the kids are even more blown away after the bleachers are lowered down to let the audience see inside the tank. A fun visual that Steven Spielberg himself suggested. It's pretty cool, but we're not done with cool stuff just yet.
Hey, first of all, how do you get up?
You want to see something else cool?
Then check out the all-new Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe. Yeah, that's literally what the movie cuts to after that line, because half of Jurassic World is a commercial. Stepping out of that world-class vehicle is Claire and Grady, who have just...
As I said, it's like this in the Jurassic Park in Camp Cretaceous is removed to a Jurassic Park one, which I know it's not canonical, but they zoom into it, willingly showing this is canonical. So, what if Jurassic Park saw, they were like, no, we don't want this. No, none of us. So they decided, fuck it, and cut it all of their ties with engine, and they had to create their own cheap brand and use the Jurassic Park marketing. Here's also what if in lore, Mercedes knows about what Jurassic Park is doing? Because in the Mercedes ad, they showed a T-Rex stomping on a car, and this wasn't a Jurassic Park themed ad. This was just an ad and it had a T-Rex. They also had a T-Rex, a guy running away from a T-Rex, and also they had little ads about the Indominus Rex and shit. So, if this face connected and they're actually working on them, they're using their atrocities to make money.
Just arrived at the Indominus pen. Grady reacts to the dinosaur's name like I did.
The Indominus Rex.
After Claire admits to Grady that she doesn't know exactly what kind of DNA is inside the Indominus, they run into a problem when they see that there are no thermal signals being detected inside the pen. Between that and the claw markings that Grady finds on the wall, it looks like this Indominus has escaped the paddock. So Claire races through the jungle in her stylish yet functional GLE 450 AMG Sport and calls the command center to put them on high alert. But when they look for the Indominus' tracker, they see that it's still in the cage. That's bad news for Grady and these other dudes who are inside the pen checking it out. Or at least bad news for the other guys. This movie's not about to kill Chris Pratt. But when that Indominus Rex reappears, it shows that it's fine killing non-character employees like this guy Ellis, who's snatched up by the Indominus. After a nice off-screen crunch, we even get to see some of the feeding sessions. Solid first kill, J-World. Grady bolts for the closing pen doors and makes it out of there just in time. But after briefly getting stuck in them, the Indominus also breaks out of the paddock. Grady watches from beneath a Jeep as this guy Nick is exposed to the designer dino and very promptly eaten from a seated position. Hey, at least he was sitting on the ground and not a toilet. To hide from the admittedly very cool-looking eye.
It's like I once said, I don't want to, sound fatphobic here, but why did they get a fat guy to, to serve the Indominus Rex? I mean, look, he's not like that, heavy, but at the end of the day, if a dinosaur escapes, you gotta run. And when you look like the way he does, and you're probably overweight, you're probably not going to be the best at running. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say that, okay? Controversial opinion here, make sure to hire fat people. It's like the OG one. In a job like this, you need physically strong people. And fat people aren't physically strong. They tire themselves out easily, they have more mass to hold, and if this ever happened and they had a fat person, that fat person would probably die first. I'm sorry, but it's just true. As that zombie movie said, poor fat bastards, but we all knew we were gonna die first. I don't hate fat people, I'm just saying logically, they would die first.
Rex, Grady gives himself a fuel line rinse to ward off both smell and, heat, I guess? Seems unlikely to cool down a body's thermal pattern, but it works well enough and the Indominus pieces out to go see what this Jurassic World place is all about. Although the I-Rex is now on the loose, park owner Masrani says they need to collect the asset quietly instead of warning the park guests about the danger, because I guess this hippy-dippy dude who didn't care about profits before is now fine with risking lives for the sake of his park. And so an ACU squad, that's Asset Containment Unit, suits up and gets ready to kick some asset.
Why did you give them tasers? It's like the Jurassic World. You live in America. America have these. You can go. You have a gun. In America, you're allowed to use one of these. And obviously guns are wrong. People don't like guns. Like me and my brother, James originally hated the line that Peter didn't like guns and hated gun clubs. James decided he was a bit wrong because Peter, by definition, lost his uncle to a gun. So we realized, Peter wouldn't realistically like guns, so he shouldn't be so mean. And he's lost a lot of people to a gun, and he's been shot, so Peter just would not like guns.
Let's briefly check in on Claire's nephews, who are riding a train while the Gallimimus Stampede from the original is turned into a tourist attraction. Which is not a criticism, by the way. I think that's friggin' great. Gray tells his older brother that he's tourist attraction. Claire's nephews, who are riding a train while the Gallimimus Stampede from the original is turned into a tourist attraction. Which is...
Look, again, he doesn't hate, no hater, but those fuckers crushed through a tree. And you're telling me, dinosaurs are really heavy and run really fast, so let's make that a game. What's the next? Fishing with Spinosaurus, run, hide and seek with T-Rex, tag with raptors, or sandcastles with compies.
It's not a criticism, by the way. I think that's friggin' great. Gray tells his older brother that he's figured out their parents are getting divorced, because that's a fun thing to keep bringing up in this dinosaur adventure film. Seriously, why does this subplot exist? I want to see this little kid cry from terror, not from his family's failure to stay together.
I actually think it was one of the best
Any
scenes.
takers?
Whoa, Mr. Vegas.
It was a good scene.
Grady shows up to the
personally, and I
command
really
center to watch
liked
the
it.
Indominus reacquisition mission happen in real time.
Personally, I love this. I love the scene, personally, the divorce scene. And it was a really good scene, and I think...
Okay, stop your yapper. Really, dude? I've been gone for so long. 9 minutes?
Well, I have to talk about it. It's a good scene.
Yapper!
It's a really good scene, in my opinion. And having the kid cry, because he doesn't want his parents to split, was a really good option, and I felt like it's quite realistic to actual divorced children. Guys, James has his hands on us. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, seriously now, let's get back to work, shall we?
Great. Grady tells his older brother that he's figured out why does this matter. Grady shows up to the command center to watch the Indominus reacquisition mission happen in real time. The ACU gets out of their high-powered Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6 and heads off into the jungle. That's where leader Hamada finds a piece of dino damage on the ground. Looks like the Indominus tore out its own tracking device. This must be one smart dinosaur. And guess what? It can also camouflage. It can camouflage! It can indeed. Time to up the shit out of this kill count, because we're adding 8 bodies to the list right now. First is Hamada, who's thrown down and stomped on in a real Cartarian way. Next is a couple of troopers who are whipped and thrown against tree branches. Their deaths confirmed by the aliens-like monitor that shows all the soldiers flatlining out of the movie. Another trooper's crushed by a tree, turns out his name was Lee. 2 more get their bodies broken by a tail whip. 1 dude is tossed up and eaten by the Indominus, showering the camera down below with CG blood. And as everyone else makes their getaway, the last casualty bravely fires at the beast until he too gets snapped up. That could have gone a little better.
Evacuate the island.
Claire and Masrani refuse to do that because, money. But Claire does agree.
You know what I don't get? He's shot inside of her mouth. Like, why not shoot her mouth? And if you know she's gonna jump, this probably sounds a bit dumb, but jump inside of her mouth. Well, if you can't run back, jump inside of her mouth, grab her teeth, and keep punching her jaw till she opens her mouth and then jump out. And you could say, oh, who do you expect these people to be? Well, I expect them to be super soldiers. That's why they're here. That's why they were trusted, all 8 of them, to kill the Indominus Rex. That's why they're trusted. So I assume they're fucking Captain America. Also, Captain America vs. Rexy. I know it's done, but I saw it on a video, so who do you guys think?
To order all the guests back down to the southern part of the island. The order goes out too late to reach Zach and Gray, though, because they've already headed out in the gyrosphere, which is probably this movie's most interesting and iconic new addition to the series. Inside the gyrosphere, there's an extremely tram tour type video starring Jimmy Fallon, doing his Jimmy Fallon shtick. Too bad the movie didn't get cordoned for some gyro karaoke. As they take the big hamster ball through a herd of herbivores, they get a message warning them that the ride is over and they need to come back ASAP. But in an enormous park safety oversight, these kids are able to just take control of the ball for themselves, so they just keep rolling, straight down the Dino Highway.
I mean, it's better than having them not control it, because what if the power goes out and they can't control it?
Tries to call the boys, but, ball reception, so they get disconnected. And instead of taking her phone call as a sign that something's wrong, Zach gets the bright idea to take the ball through a restricted gate and down into the dino jungle, right up to a herd of ankylosauruses. Ankylosauruses are a known dino delicacy, so in no time at all, the Indominus Rex comes around for some fine dino dining. It kicks the ball out of its way as it chases after the Tankosauruses, and one of the armored herbivores hits the gyrosphere with his club tail. The boys watch from their damaged ball as the Indominus kills the Ankylo boy by biting its head and snapping its neck. Then it turns its attention to renowned Canadian sketch comedy duo Kids in the Ball and punctures the protective glass with a nail. It has a harder time when it tries to bite through the ball, and during its struggle, the boys manage to get out of the capsule and make a run for it. The I-Rex chases them out
I like the Lego how she pouted.
of the trees and up to a waterfall that they jump over to escape from the monster's jaws. The I-Rex eventually gets tired of waiting for them to resurface and leaves. You kids are lucky that thing doesn't have any killer bee DNA. By this point, Claire has recruited Grady to help her look for the boys, but instead they first find a dying Apatosaurus in the movie's only use of an animatronic dinosaur instead of CG, and boy does it look good. Stan Winston would be proud of Legacy Effects, the company that made this dinosaur head and was founded by his former employees. It's such an emotional looking dinosaur that when it dies in front of them, the Claire model business bot finally sheds a tear. She might not want to look over that hill then, where there are 5 more sauropod corpses lying in the sun, completely uneaten.
It's killing for sport.
They track Zach and Gray's footprint.
It's from the theory. Since when she killed a human, she ate it. Both the times she fought humans, she ate it. So the thing is that, what if the Indominus Rex wasn't killing for sport, and she was actually killing for Toro, so Toro could find her through the layer of corpses, and so Toro could eat? Because Toro is a damaged, mentally damaged, and physically damaged from all her years of abuse. So the thing is that, in a fucked up way, this is an offering to show the Indominus Rex isn't like, oh, you're nothing. She's like, I love you. Here's a corpse. You know, like, in a primal way, this is her showing her respect and her love to Toro. So, there's a feeling that she isn't actually killing for sport.
Broken Jimmy Fallon ball to the waterfall.
The reason she kills for sport is that she's defending herself, so she has no time to eat.
Diving board, where Grady tries to send Claire back to the park because she shouldn't be out in the jungle in those heels of hers. In response, she gives herself a quick sporty makeover and insists on coming with him to find her nephews. Said nephews find their way through the jungle to an...
Which as that one said, what does that even do? Like, oh, she pulls up her ones? Like, is it like a cartoon? The character pulls up her sleeves and they become really strong. Like, I'm kind of... I know it's been memes upon, but like, it's also a bit weird that everyone wants to see her wearing shoes. Like, there's a part of people that probably don't want to see it just for survival, if you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Abandoned door, and it turns out to be the old visitor center from the first movie. Only, you know, a little bit reclaimed by nature now. They take a torchlit tour through the movie audience's nostalgia and top it all off with some goggles that are probably heavy, meaning they're expensive. Put them back, Ray. Then they find a broken down Jeep.
You remember when we fixed up Grandpa's old Malibu, right?
Yeah, kids, fix this decrepit jungle Jeep. That shouldn't be difficult at all. Hey, look, it's working! It's working! They drive off right as Grady and Claire get to the old facility. That is some shit time in there, y'all. The Indominus Rex also arrives at the facility, breaking the roof with its face and chasing Grady and Claire back out into the jungle, where Claire calls in the I-Rex's position to the command center. Masrani decides to play the hero and fly a chopper on his own to get that dino, which would surely upset his stockholders if they knew of this shit. He flies to where the Indominus is, near the aviary, and his chopper shoots at the dinosaur until it crashes through the birdhouse and starts scaring a whole bunch of pteranodons and dimorphodons. The pterosaurs escape out of the broken birdhouse and fly up towards Masrani's chopper, and you know that ain't good. His gunner falls out and gets friggin' air speared by a pteranodon, while another beak pierces the windshield and the co-pilot. Masrani stays alive just long enough for his bird to get knocked around and fall crashing through the roof of the aviary, where it spirals down into a big fiery explosion that kills the park owner in a suitably undignified way. The hole from his chopper allows...
How did you fail? How did you fail? She is on the ground. You have a gun. How did you fail? Like, how did you fail? And here's a suggestion, just one suggestion. If you can't fire at her, maybe run forward, lens shoot her. And also, how did you fail? I know Indominus Rex is strong and smart, but you were shooting at her! It's like, she has the intelligence of a human, some people believe. Well, imagine shooting a human with that. They would still be dead even if we're smart, you know, even if we're strong or smart. So how the fuck did you fail? How did you possibly fail that? I don't want to sound meaner, but how? How could you physically fail it? That should have been easy. Because everyone wanted to sell ever since my review, so how the fuck did you fail?
Pretty much all the other pterosaurs to escape and fly out into the wild, which kind of begs the question of why they bred these flying fuckers in the first place if they pose that much of a flight risk. As the boys drive their Jeep back to the theme park area of the island, we begin the scene that everyone was so concerned about me kill counting, even though I'll show you it's not that hard. See, all the guests are currently stuck in the downtown Dino Land section of the park when in flies that giant flock of pterosaurs, who start tackling into and occasionally grabbing the guests as they try to flee. But here's the thing, nobody's actually getting murdered. Yeah, some people are injured, some glass gets broken, and this one dude is pecked at on the ground. But the only things I see getting killed for show are these two margaritas Jimmy Buffett grabs. Zara tries to...
Which he has a great figure of him holding two margaritas while pterosaurs are around him.
To do her job and watch over the kids as they run through all this chaos, but for her efforts, we get the most mean-spirited kill of the franchise after she's lifted up by a pteranodon and passed around like a football. It'd be one thing to just kill this character off, but instead the pterosaurs drop her into the Mosasaurus tank, then proceed to dive bomb underwater so they can snatch her up and give her a dino baptism, dunking her repeatedly until finally the Mosasaurus gets tired of all that ruckus and rises up from the water to shut both bird and human up with one.
The first ever female kill in this entire franchise.
One big mighty snap. It's an excessive death that probably should have been reserved for Hoskins, but instead went to the beleaguered assistant.
For years, I've been that person who just picks up and goes.
You know one of the main problems with Camp Cretaceous? Well, the influencer girl was sponsored in Jurassic Park. She had cutouts in lore, and had like a voice cutout, but didn't cut damage and distracted Rexy. That's what I like to me. What if they were actually in the movie? Okay, you know, they were obviously rewritten after the movie, so they were never actually planned to be in the movie. So in this what if they're actual characters in the movie, and they use stuff from the show to help the main characters survive.
That probably should have been reserved for Hoskins, but instead went to the beleaguered assistant.
Oh yeah, you should do Camp Cretaceous.
She's the only death here, y'all. I went through and scanned the background repeatedly and saw no other confirmed kills, even though this rowdy Dimorphodon tried to add Grady to the count when it landed on his back and attacked him. Claire rescues Grady with a gun butt smash and a whole bunch of tranks, and then the two have a real awkward middle school dance looking kiss. It probably looks so weird because director Colin Trevorrow and Chris Pratt didn't tell Bryce Dallas Howard it was gonna happen. She was completely unprepared for it, and it shows. In any case, Claire's finally reunited with her nephews, who are gonna spend the rest of this movie telling us how fucking badass Owen Grady is.
Can we stay with you? I am never leaving you as long as you live. No, him! Yeah, definitely him.
Did you kids not just see a minute ago?
That was funny.
When your aunt tranked that Dimorphodon up like she was rolling effing Tembo? With Masrani dead, Hoskins...
Yeah, like, I agree. Like, obviously, I love Owen, but...
When your aunt tranked that Dimorphodon up like she was rolling effing Tembo? With Masrani dead, Hoskins...
You just disrespect Claire's efforts. Claire's still a badass in her own right.
Not just see a minute ago when your aunt tranked that Dimorphodon up like she was rolling effing Tembo? With Masrani...
Guys, I want it to be known I'm planning on reacting to more things than just Jurassic Park and Godzilla. Maybe I should react to ADHD's World, Battle, maybe, or Stretch Armstrong. I don't think I should just react to Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park, or Monsters.
That's how fucking badass Owen Grady is.
Can we stay with you? I am never leaving you as long as you live. No, him! Yeah, definitely him.
Did you kids not just see a minute ago when your aunt tranked that Dimorphodon up like she was rolling effing Tembo? With Masrani dead, Hoskins makes his move and takes over the command center with his new InGen team of private security guards who arrive via helicopter with a bang, or at least a gunshot. Poor Dimorphodon. Hoskins wants to take the Raptors out for a military field test and use them to chase down the Indominus Rex. Claire and Grady find out about it and roll up so Grady can punch Hoskins in the face and impress these kids some more. But face punch or not, Hoskins assures Grady that this plan is going off no matter what.
With or without you.
So Grady reluctantly agrees to lead a team of no matter what, impress these kids some more. But Grady find out about it and roll up so Grady can punch Hoskins in the face and impress these...
Why? I'm just gonna say it. Owen, this guy has a good idea. But Owen, I don't care what you believe and what you don't believe. This, by definition, is a good idea. I don't know if you like to me or not, but this works. Because when you think about it, the Indominus Rex is going rampant. You need other support. And like, oh, the guy shoot dinosaur shows how evil they are. It shows these are killers, and people are terrified, and it shows they want to protect. Anyway.
These kids some more. But face punch or not, Hoskins assures Grady that this plan is going off no matter what.
With or without you.
To create -196, we freeze a whole lemon to -196 degrees, then crush it before fusing.
So Grady reluctantly agrees to lead a team of InGen dudes to go hunt down the Indominus with his Raptors, giving them the scent of the designer dino with that hunk of flesh they found in the jungle. After he introduces the Raptors by name to the kids, the movie assures us, in case we've forgotten, that Owen Grady is real fucking cool.
This one's called Blue. She's the beta.
Who's the alpha?
You're looking at him, kid.
Aw, he's so fucking cool and alpha! But the kids aren't that alpha, so Claire puts them in the back of an armored truck to stay safe inside during the mission. With one overacted button push, we're off! The Raptors run out into the jungle with little velocicams on their heads, giving a video feed for everyone else to watch on tablets. Owen Grady rides his motorcycle among them like he's part of the pack, and for once, I actually believe that this dude is a legit badass. Do more of this, Jurassic World. Show, don't tell.
Your boyfriend's a badass.
We know, we just saw. You don't have to tell us. The raptors end up coming to a halt when they find something, which ends up being the Indominus Rex, who steps out of the trees and stares the raptors down. Then they start talking to each other. Yo, can we get some subtitles up in here? I don't speak dinosaur. Despite the language barrier, Grady comes to an understanding.
That thing's not a raptor.
And apparently this new alpha just told the rest of the crew to go destroy all humans. The soldiers open fire on the Indominus, but not even a rocket launcher can put it down for good, and it just runs away into the jungle. That's when Blue and the Betas make their move. In a scene that's way too Call of Duty for my liking, a total of, I believe, 7 security guards are killed by the raptors. It's kinda hard to tell, what with all the broken video feeds and grainy night vision footage, but that's what I'm going with. 7 dudes. Cool. After the slaughter, Grady runs into Charlie, who doesn't kill him right away. Shame I don't count dinosaurs on the list though, cause Charlie gets blown the fuck up by a missile launcher to end that heart-to-heart. I'm kinda sad. These raptors are adorable, even if they are killing machines. Back at the raptors chase after the bloody hand. She's raptor's daughter. Grady runs into Charlie, who doesn't kill him right away. Shame I don't count dinosaurs on the list though, cause Charlie gets blown the fuck up by a missile launcher.
Controversial opinion? Charlie deserved it. I don't care if they were hypnotized, because they weren't hypnotized. Being an alpha doesn't mean you are turning a watch and controlling someone. She did that well. And I'm tired of people thinking, oh, they got hypnotized. No. Becoming an alpha does not mean you have a supernatural power to control someone. It's like a leader. They still have the option to say no. They willingly killed these people. So yeah, Charlie, I think you deserve to die. Oh, Blue lost all his sisters. Maybe you shouldn't have killed innocent people. Because all these people want to do is stop the Indominus Rex. But you thought, now let's listen to her. So you know, Blue, you have this coming and you deserve it. All of you deserve to fucking die. And I agree with that. And I believe that to my fucking core.
To end that heart-to-heart. I'm kinda sad. These raptors are adorable, even if they are killing machines. Back at the raptor pen, a soldier with a bloody hand shows up like, get the fuck out of here! Before he gets pounced on and killed by Delta right in front of the boys, adding yet another nameless soldier dude to the list. The raptors chase after the armored truck in an uninspired dino chase scene that bored the crap out of me, especially when it just repeated the side view mirror shot from the original for nostalgia. It ends with the boys electroshocking a raptor off the back of the truck and Owen joining them on his bike so they can all drive away to safety. They head back to downtown Dino Land and into the Hammond Creation Lab only to find it's been evacuated. And apparently, as revealed in a shady phone call, young innocent Dr. Henry Wu from the first film has been working with evil Hoskins the whole time. Henry, what would Hammond say? Push. Yeah, that's right. He'd probably just say push, push. As part of the deal, Wu got a big paycheck to take home on his helicopter off the island, while Hoskins and his team got some primo dino DNA to use for the military. Hoskins tries to give a bad guy monologue to our protagonist, but he gets interrupted by Delta coming through the door. Delta corners him, and his pathetic begging doesn't do any good, because she snaps his hand, probably clean off, and as our heroes run away, she mauls him to death just off screen behind some equipment. A real simple death compared to the drawing and quartering of Zara earlier. Just off screen behind some equipment.
I'm just gonna say it.
Equipment.
Genuinely, I don't feel bad. Genuinely, I feel bad for him, but I don't feel bad for the Raptors. I'm gonna have a controversial opinion here, but what I don't think the film's wrong is that war needs to happen. You know? And that's why I wish people would realize forced positivity is bad. You can't just make everyone happy. We need negativity. We need to fight. I mean, I don't want to say it, but there's a fear that history is repeating itself. And I don't want to say it, but there's a fear that people are getting sick of something and they're getting mad at it. It's again like we did back in the day. People always will fight. And in my opinion, trying to cut that and making everyone weaker removes why we are people and why, God was created us to be humans anyway. We need to fight. So, in my humble opinion, they're good to be used as soldiers, because at the end of the day, humans are the, top dog. We own animals, basically. God gave humanity to name every animal and own every animal, so now we own them. They're our property, they're our thing. We own every animal, because they're humanity's pet. God gave us this right to own animals, and I see that as our born given right, that we own these things, animals. So that's why I don't feel bad for putting animals in war. Well, that's my opinion, no.
Real simple death compared to the drawing and quartering of Zara earlier. But Delta is still acting feral and chases Grady, Claire, and the kids through the Innovation Center. On their way out, Grady is all like, I choose you, Dilophosaurus! And it works! Delta
Alright, let's get back to work.
Claire and the kids through the Innovation Center. On their way out, Grady is all like, I choose you, Dilophosaurus! And it works! Delta is confused. Our heroes run outside only to be cornered by Blue and Echo, who are shortly joined by Delta, who wants to join in all their Raptor games, like Monopoly. Grady musters up all his dad's skills and reaches a hand out towards Blue, and Blue responds by being chill enough for Grady to remove the Velocicam from her head. Grady's a big advocate for privacy rights. Then the Indominus Rex shows up because it's the end of the movie and it has to, but by now Blue has an understanding with Grady, who has become the alpha of the pack yet again. Blue goes to defend Grady with a scream, but she gets knocked aside by the I-Rex with ease. Grady gives a whistle that sends Delta and Echo jumping into action against the Indominus. Too bad they prove to be no match. Delta gets bitten and thrown straight into a burner that incinerates her, while Echo is just bitten and thrown off screen. As the kids hide in a merch stand, Claire sets out to even up the match a bit. She runs to a paddock and tells Lowry to open it from the control room. After some minor pushback, he does, and when Claire ignites that road flare, you know what we're in for. It's the motherfucking T-Rex! Rexy specifically, the one from the original film. And Claire leads it in a Goldblumian way, only, in heels, straight to the Indominus Rex, who she tosses the flare at. That sets off one of the best parts of this movie. Another awesome dino fight! Time it's the OG Tyrannosaurus Rex against the flashy newcomer Indominus Rex, and they just bang around against each other, snapping at every inch of dino skin they see and crashing through every building in sight. After a while, it looks like the Indominus has the match on lock, but as it goes for the pin, Blue's music starts playing, and the recently face-turned Velociraptor runs down the ramp and into the foray. Again, despite the fact that this is all CG, I think it's pretty freaking cool, man. Just a bunch of dinosaurs fighting each other, jumping around, getting body slammed. I love it! It ends after they all yell at each other, and the Mosasaurus once again has to ask for some peace and goddamn quiet, so it splashes out of the water, grabs the I-Rex by the neck, and wrestles it back into the giant water tank with it. But because the audience likes both Rexy and Blue, and this movie ain't trying to challenge anyone with moral quandaries, the two dinos come to an unlikely peaceful understanding, and the dino fight ends right there. Grady steps out of his hide.
That's just so inaccurate. Rexy was beef with raptors. Blue was shown to fight anything because she's really fucking violent. But you know what's weird? Let's both say the Mosa was trying to help or trying to be a hero. No, she wasn't. I'm tired of everyone saying this because I've said it a million times. Imagine Rexy was her. You really don't think Lamosa would have bitten Rexy? She would have. She would have because she's an animal who's hungry. She has no moral queries about any of it. She would have had Rexy. And then what if Rexy was her? She'd be eaten. The Indominus Rex would kill Blue and then run away. Because at the end of the day, the Mosa doesn't have a heart. She's just an animal hungry to be hungry. She tries eating children. She tries eating old people. Everyone she eats, are always victims. So you can't tell me the Mosa is a good person with Liz. What, she helped one time with the Indominus Rex? That doesn't make her a good person. It just makes her an animal who's hungry.
Hiding spot, maybe to go give Blue a good belly rub, but Blue is super confused by her own feelings right now, so she runs away, content with all the bank she's about to make off all the merchandising rights she sold. The next morning, Karen and Scott get to the island and find their kids safe and sound, so let's have a round of hugs. Nothing like your kids almost getting eaten by previously extinct animals to really save a marriage. Claire and Grady walk off together in silhouette, another relationship forged out of a stressful near-death situation that is sure to last. The movie ends with Rexy stepping up onto the chopper pad and roaring at the now-abandoned amusement park. Quite a dino spectacle. Now, even though I didn't count dinosaurs, will this Jurassic kill count be the biggest one yet? Let's find out and get to the numbers. By my count, 23 people died in Jurassic World, the most of the series so far. The victims were almost entirely male, but did include Zara as the first woman killed in the series, so yeah.
God.
For progress. right? With a runtime of 124 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 5.39 minutes. I guess I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Zara, even though it still kind of rubs me the wrong way. And no, not because she's a woman. It just seems weird to have this put-upon character getting dunked by pteranodons like she a basketball and they a bunch of Air Jordans. Still, it's the most elaborate death, and it's made extra impressive when you learn that actress Katie McGrath did all her own stunts for this sequence. That's just freaking awesome, and it looks like a total blast. All machete for lamest kill will go to the 7 InGen soldiers killed by the Raptor pack, because it's very difficult to tell what's going on there, and I'm not even sure I got the number of casualties right. Finally, Diamond Dino for coolest dinosaur sequence will go to the Dino Petting Zoo. Who said this award had to go to action sequences? Nothing in this movie got a bigger reaction out of me than seeing those kids play with adorable baby dinosaurs. Seriously, listen to this baby Gallimimus chirp. It's so fucking cute! And that's it. Jurassic World.
Alright, my golden chainsaw for the coolest kill would have to go to, in my opinion, the first Adonis Rex kill. I know it's not much. The smash, the roar, and the everything, it was just a great kill. Well, not our first kill, our second kill. And lamest kill probably would go to a fight scene. Because they just get hit by a tail and they die. It's like in GTA, when Trevor kills one of the members of Grove Street and they die instantly, it's like, really? I hate when one person gets hit and like, if I was in a video game or a movie and you just did this to me, I would be dead. Because movie logic, if you get hit once, you're dead. Humans are fucking endurant. Obviously, yes, if you hit something like that hard, you would probably die. But at the end of the day, I'm talking about the Trevor thing more. That's what pissed me off. And I get Trevor's... Some people say Trevor's physically strong, but I don't see it. Trevor literally has flabs on his chest, showing he's not really that built. And yes, he takes speed, and yes, he is invulnerable for a couple of seconds, and yes, he does drugs and uses cocaine. But Franklin's physically built. So if I had to pick someone, I'd pick Franklin.
World came out in 2015.
Enough about, GTA. Let's talk about Jurassic World.
And made a ludicrous amount of money. 3 years later, and it's still the 5th highest grossing film of all time. I can't cover the sequel, Fallen Kingdom, until it's out on Blu-ray. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this week's Kill Count. I want to thank a couple of patrons like Ronnie Shires, Gambit, and Nicholas Vargas. That was the longest episode of the Kill Count yet. There was just so much to comment about. Remember, everyone, we can all have different opinions about movies, because I know a lot of you love Jurassic World. It was fun to revisit the series. Plus, now I have a whole bunch of dinosaur toys to play with. Or, let's be real, for Lucy to play with. Alright, be good people.
He's lying, he's gonna play with Emma. Well guys, that was the end of Jurassic World Part 1. And I have to ask you guys a moral question. After seeing all the death, the first ever woman death, and the most death in the entire franchise, do you believe that Jurassic World is a horror movie? After seeing the horrors of the Adominus Rex, the beauty and horror of the T-Rex returning, and the absolute killers that were the Raptors, I would have to say, honestly, now actually revisiting it, yeah, I'd call Jurassic World a horror. I mean, yeah, it has cute moments, but we still see a guy get ripped in two, so honestly, yeah, I would personally say it's a horror, but just me. Well, bye guys.